up, gamers? Today on Dice and Dragons, we're back with our special release because we were doing this off schedule as we take a look again at Kick-Ass the board game. This time teaching you guys how to set up the game and more importantly, how to play it. For those of you that have not seen our first video, we're going to give you a quick intro of the game. Our first video covers the components and has our review of the game. You can find a link to that in the cards above. And for those of you also that don't know our channel, everything's time-stamped. If you don't want to see this intro, jump right ahead and dive into the setup. Now, just to let people that are finding us for the first time know about the game, Kick-Ass the board game is published by Simon. It is designed by Roberto Pestrin, Maurizio Vergendo, and Halmar Hack. It is based on the comic book by John Romita Jr. and Mark Millar. And one of the things I didn't realize originally, but I thought the art was great, the art is actually by John Romita Jr., so that just, adds a nice little touch to the production value of the board game. Now I'm going to toss it over to Julie, who's going to teach you more about the game. Well, not teach you, tell you really.
It's a cooperative game for 1 to 4 players for ages 18 and above and plays in about 60 to 90 minutes, though our experience has found that once you get a hang of it, you might be able to play a little faster than that.
Yeah, especially with a 2-player game.
Yep.
Not so sure about the 4-player. And 18 and above, I know a lot of the time we say you can be a little flexible. Well, if your kid's seen the R-rated movie, well, the game is based on the comic book, which is actually a little bit more extreme than the movie. So keep that in mind. And with that being said, we're going to do what we always do here at Dice and Dragons. We're going to grab our drinks, grab our best friends. I got my superhero gear on, Man of Steel this time. You can't quite see hers, but it's on the back. It's pretty cool. And what are we doing, Julie?
Taking it to the table. Quite literally this time.
Oh, literally, because we always take it to the table, but this time we're doing it probably a little bit more in depth than what we do with most games.
Mm-hmm.
Now we're going to set up Kick-Ass the board game. Now we've taken out a lot of the components, so you can see that they've already been placed near the board, but we'll go over what we've actually done. Now, I've taken a look at the 2-player event deck, which is one of the first things you want to put out, and I just looked at the boss. Well, we took Red Mist, the Coward Bastard. You can see his boss event cards and the final plot are near the board. These are the 3 mini bosses that can come out in this deck. And I've just taken a selection of the miniatures. Not all of them, but more than we probably need for right now. We've got the super minion bases. We've got the tokens associated with the library, the defense tokens. Here we've got our nice die pool, the docks token, the spawn cards, and I just knocked these over, but that's going to happen. We've got the block timer tokens, and the one that we didn't get to see on the last video, the shop tokens. So we just got it out near the board. We've got the incoming track set for 2 players. As you can see, Julie's going to be playing Hit Girl, and she's mostly set up her board. We've got the incoming tracker at the start, and we've got the round tracker as well in its first position. Now we've got the final plot track over there, and we may or may not need that in the quick how to play playthrough we're going to be doing. You've got a pool of dollars, the 3 stacks of interest tokens. We've got the player cards, the 2 fight cards, and the 3 everyday cards. I've got the same thing here with Kick-Ass, but as we noted, he's different. We've got 4 regular cards, 1 fight card, and there's the Red Mist tokens, which are related to his plot, the armor, his fight power, and his health token. And then finally, we just put these near the board, the green the green cards, for if we are lucky enough to become famous. Now what we'll do is we're going to finish setting up, and Julie's already taken care of most of her Hit Girl board, and we'll start with that. So we each get $3 to start off with, which I'll put right here. Each character is a starting item. With Hit Girl, it's a bulletproof vest. I really think it should have been a katana. Kick-Ass gets his sticks, which will go here. We then have the instructions right here for our starting positions. So Kick-Ass starts at the library, while Hit Girl will start in Central Park. My happiness for Kick-Ass starts at 7. Strength, as you'll see, starts at 1. Health starts at 6. And I start with 2 likes. So we've gone ahead and set up most of the character boards. The last thing is the hardships. Now each hero is going to start with 2 hardships face down. You take the 12 hardship cards, shuffle them up, deal out 2 face down, and I'm just going to put these in front of me. We're actually going to take them off. We're not going to be needing them for the rest of the game. They go face down and will only be revealed when the hero's happiness level drops to 4 or then drops to 1 where they'll be suffering from both hardships. Now, the board is set up. The last thing we need to get set up here is the cards. So we then draw 4 of the starting blue activation cards. And these are going to be the cards that we are able to purchase during one of the phases, the refresh phase, and we draw 2 of the red. With regards to the items, we have 4 starting items that are available in the shop. And that's everything you need to do to set up the first game. I apologize that you can't quite see the corner over here, but we did our best with the equipment that we have. So now what we're going to do is we're going to cut and we're going to go through a few rounds, go through all of the phases of the game so that we'll teach you guys how to play. Keep it right here. We're going to race across the city as fast as we can to get into action. So we're going to teach you guys how to go through the event phase and the day phase, because the event phase is very straightforward. So I'll just ask Julie to reveal an event card, and I'll take it and get it closer for everyone. So the card is "You Are Fired." So every player discards a job card, placing it next to the board. This card can't be used. Each player receives 2 interest tokens. Hero must deliver these tokens by spending 1 free time at Wall Street or the library. So in order to get this done and complete it, 1 player needs to deliver both tokens, 1 to each different location. And then if we succeed, each hero gains $1 and the enemy track moves down. And if we fail, lose 2 happiness and our hand limit goes down by 1. So we have the 2 event tokens. We're using the blue ones just to make sure it matches this same event. And I will go in my hand. Julie's already removed one of her job cards. So the only job card that I have is free time, and I'll discard it over here. Now that may be off camera for part of it, but it's all right. Now you can see the cards that I have in front of me. And we will draw. I'm going to move the dice. They're now off camera, but they'll be on one of the cameras. And we'll flip over our first spawn card. So what we then do, take a look. All heroes in the same district as a minion lose alike. Not that bad. We get 2 minions that spawn at one at the hospital. And let's just bring this close so you can see. We're going to follow this track. And if any minions ever overflow, we follow the yellow arrow. So hospital, police department, and then docks. As this is a 2-player game, we get 1 at the hospital and 1 at the police department. Now we will take the first of our activations. And as we've got stuff that we need to do, so the first thing is we need to deliver them at the library or Wall Street. So it makes more sense for Kick-Ass to play the school money card. So I'll play that, and for the sake of just playing it, I'll put it on the board here. That gives me 1 free time, which I will use to deliver the token to the library. I gain 1 happiness and $1. And Julie, I don't think you should actually focus on completing the event.
Nope.
I'll be more than able to. You may be better off actually gaining some strength or potentially leveling up or gaining some activation cards, because we got some really good ones out here.
Yeah, I'm going to use my activation to get an extra strength.
Okay.
So I'm going to move up by 1, and I will move towards, I'm going to see if I can next turn maybe buy something.
Not a bad idea. All right. Now we once again go through the other part of the phase. We go through the spawn phase. This time it is a basic spawn. The spawn goes up by 1. We get a minion this time at the police department and 1 at the shop. And we're still only spawning 2 minions, and we're still in round 1. Now, each of us gets to play another activation card. What I will do is I will play free time and get the ability to move 2 and 1 free time. So I will move 1. I will then use my free time to drop off the token. And then, as you can see, you can also put them on the card. We have now completed the event. And we shall move 1 more because I'm going to want to gain back or, see it's get back or gain an activation card. So we got some good stuff actually here. I really like Street Fighter Carmelo. I don't think we want to let all this stuff go to waste, to be honest with you. And these are the 2 cards that I've played. And actually, just to keep this board a little cleaner, I'm going to flip them over here. And I'll let Julie go.
I'm wondering if I shouldn't try to get rid of a minion right now.
It's not a bad idea because you can trigger the cleanup. You would lose happiness. But right now, there's nothing really that you can buy, but actually you gain an extra $1. So before we forget, we can complete the event. So move this back. Each of us gain $1. Yeah, and we'll just put off to the side there. You only have $4, so you could buy the nightstick, but you already have the bulletproof vest. So I don't know. I think we really want to find a way to get another $1 or something. But it'd be nice if something spawned in Wall Street. Maybe you just want to buy, or you want to do something else. But you can attack. It's not going to make that much of a difference.
Maybe we're going to go to City Hall again. I'm going to follow the same thing you will.
Okay.
So since I haven't used my activation, I can use my activation here to get an extra card. So I'm actually going to get Edward.
You'd like to get Edward?
Yes.
Okay.
Because of the strength and the happiness, he's a good fit for Hit Girl.
Okay. So just go ahead. So she got Edward. It might be a little quiet. I do apologize. And just flip over the cards that she has then used. We once again go through the spawn phase. We move this up. We spawn minions. And I know I moved it up a little earlier, but typically that's what happens. So we've got heavy weapons, and bring this closer. All heroes in the same district as a minion immediately fight with -1 blue die. We get a spawn at the docks and the library. So we get docks and library. And let's see what we want to do. So I got a lot of cash. I want to definitely get to the shop. So I'm going to play the free time for 2 movement. But before I go, I'm going to definitely buy a card because Street Fighter here, Street Fighting here, Carmelo and Stress are some of the best cards I think in the game. And I think we can't risk losing Carmelo. No. I think that's probably one of the better ones. So I'll take this card, discard it, and with my 2 movement, I'm going to go 1, 2 to end up there. Oh, and before we forget, we did complete our job, so we will be able to take back our free time, our job cards. So we do have some extra cards in our hand, and we will have to get rid of them. We don't have to do it now. We'll have to do it once we get to the refresh phase.
I'm feeling like next time I'm going to have to clean up the police department a little bit so we don't get stuck there. So I'm going to play Edward. And I'm going to make my way back closer to the police department.
So you only have 1 movement?
1 movement with Edward, but I get 2 happiness and a strength, so it makes me even stronger next time.
All right. So we've now gone ahead and gone through the day phase. We've gone through it 3 times. Now we would go through the sleep phase. You can see the sleep icon here. You can probably barely see it on Hit Girl's card over there. we're not able to do anything. So we now go through the refresh phase where we have the opportunity we get all of our cards back. Remember, we have a hand limit of 5. So we've got more cards. We can draw a card. We do have to refresh the shop and activation cards next. But first thing, we're going to draw a card. I'm actually going to get rid of my first card that I don't want. Is School Money. It's only usable in the library. I don't like it. But we've got some great stuff out there. So there's the Street Fighter, which is -1 happiness but +1 strength. You've got a great strength booster there. There's also Stress, which gives us 2 activations. I'm almost thinking that these might be the 2 cards that are the most valuable.
Yeah, I think I might take Stress. We've seen in our experience that double activation can be useful, and I'm going to exchange it for my other personal card. Do you want to explain the personal?
Yeah, so that's a great point that Julie's brought up. We've got the personal cards, the job cards. You can see them denoted by their symbols at the top, and I'll just pick it up. So there's different negative effects, and sometimes not having a specific card type can help you avoid some negative effects. For me, I'm getting rid of my job card because Carmelo is a personal card, and I want to take Street Fighting, which is also a personal card. So job card goes away. This is in our hand. We're at 5 cards. We now refresh the shop and activation card. So unfortunately, these cards will be discarded face over. We also have to discard all the items. So we'll just flip these ones face up. Draw another 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we will just put the items over here face down. Julie will redraw the cards.
I like the machete.
Yeah. And then we've gone ahead and gone through an entire turn. We went through the event, day, sleep, refresh phase. So the round token will now move up. And we're going to cut right here because we did a full turn, and we'll take a look at it again. We're going to restart for you guys. Now we're back with round 2, so we're going to start the event phase. Normally we'd advance all events 1 space. We beat the event easily. Now we've got Prison Break. So every sleep phase, spawn 2 minions in the police department. We need to kill 4 minions there. Otherwise, we lose alike. We get minions spawning in occupied districts, meaning where there are other minions. We also then, if we succeed, we can move that incoming track down 1 and gain 2 likes. We put our completed event over there, and we've just cleaned up our boards a little bit, and I know I've readjusted the camera, and we should be good to go. So how we want to tackle this hit, girl?
Well, I would do the spawn first so we can see, but I have a feeling I'm going to go clean up the police department.
All right, so we will spawn everything first. It's a basic spawn, so no adjustments to the incoming track. We only get 2 people, 1 in the hospital and 1 in the library.
Yeah, so I'm not very strong right now, but I think it's important so we don't get backed up and lose opportunities there to go try to hit them over there. So I get 3. I've got 3 showing here.
Yeah, so we looked at the rules regarding strength. The rule book says once you gain that level of strength, gain that specific reward. There's nothing that say it's only the reward of the level you're at. So,
but since we're playing cooperatively, what were you planning on doing? What would you like to do?
I can either use Street Fighting to take out a guy, move a space. I can potentially help you out with getting
defense, or
getting some defense, or maybe I need to get over to, or maybe I need to buy something. I could try buying something, but we got some great stuff in City Hall too. Not City Hall, but some great activation cards. I don't know if I want to let all of that stuff go. So what do you, because I can also come back you up and we can fight a little bit later if there's something you want to trigger that might get you a little stronger if you want to get an extra combat to go there.
No, so the problem is because of my movement and the cards I have available, if I go back to buy the shop, my movement then from attack is it's going to take us a while. We may lose.
We may lose the opportunity, but we can try to do it at the end of the turn, which might make more sense. And that way you can come in with the big guns and maybe take some less damage.
We could.
Yeah, but you know what? Actually, you could potentially even buy a better card than the ones you have.
Potentially for another. You know what? I'm still going to go. I'm going to attack first.
Okay.
That was the initial plan. None of what you're doing would have an impact on me, so I'll take 3 red dice, please.
And you're playing Hit Girl where you move 1. Got a good roll. It's 50% chance to not succeed. And that was a very nice one. So we succeed at defeating 2 guys in the police department. They go on the event card. She blocks 1 with her bulletproof vest, exhausting it, meaning she will only take 1 damage because damage, and I'll move these guys over here just for a second, is based on the point value of these guys. Regular minions are worth 1 point, meaning they do 1 damage each. Gets a little trickier for super minions. So that actually was good. And Hit Girl now gets to...
And I also have to...
Yeah, lower your happiness by 1. But you get to pick somebody off.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do this and help us buy, if you can give me, get a free item at some point.
Now, I definitely think getting to City Hall is a good idea, but there's going to be some fighting involved here, but I'm not so sure what I'd like to actually do. We could use some money. There might be better stuff coming in the shop. Carmelo is a great to get some defense out there, and getting to the docks is also a decent idea. I know I wanted to buy, but I think I'm going to change my plan. So I will play Carmelo, just flip him over. I'm going to move 1, 2, and 3 because maybe I want to get some cash here because we just got a really nice move done by Hit Girl. But I do want to get access to some of these great activation cards. So this one is now deactivated. I can't use it for the rest of the turn. I also get a protection token, which everyone seems to be partying at the library or the hospital, so I think I'll put it at the library. And what do you think I should get? I'm a superhero?
Well, the one...
Because I could definitely use I'm a superhero to get to... or is that something that you wanted to maybe pick up?
Well, I definitely won't be picking up high cost. That one's too high cost for me given the low health that I have.
But we also want to start getting likes. We need to get these green cards. There's some good stuff that give likes and happiness.
Yeah, I won't be taking any of the attack cards there.
Okay, well, I might take one at the end there, but I want to grab Marty because it's free time happiness and a like. I can't pass that up. And I'll get rid of this other personal card because sometimes there's negative effects from that. So we'll just take that and put it out of the game. And I did that as I moved through City Hall. I'm now in Wall Street. And we've done our first part of the day phase. We get our second spawn. So we've got Kidnapped, moving the incoming track up 1, meaning we are spawning 3 guys. Every player with a personal card loses 1 happiness. Then we've got Library, Shop, and Hospital for our 3 guys. So the library actually gets defeated by our protection token, thanks City of New York. Meaning this, we have the guy in the shop, so this guy will just go into the hospital. All right, so we've got some interesting stuff going on, and it will now be our next activation phase.
Yeah, so I'm going to go buy, we have a katana, an AK-47, so I think I'm going to go buy that. I have enough money for it.
Okay.
So I'm going to, if you can move me to the shop, I'm going to spend my $4 on that AK-47, which will make killing anything else a little bit easier.
And there might be some good stuff coming in the shop. We need to get equipped. So what I'm actually going to do, I'm going to play Marty because he gives me a happiness and a like. I'm going to get $3 from Wall Street, and I will not take a negative happiness thanks to Marty, and I'll move up into the docks area, meaning that if I want to buy something next turn or potentially trigger the docks so we'll be better set up for next time, I can also use street fighting to maybe knock off a guy.
So
we've got some decent options.
$3, is that what you said? Oh, okay.
So we got some decent options, and yeah, I'm hoarding all this money over here. It's kind of cool. All right. Now we will then go to the third and final spawn phase of the day. Every player with a job card loses $1. I do not have a job card. You do not have a job card.
I do not have a job card.
So we will once again move this up. We shall, sorry, this is off camera. I believe we spawn 3 guys, shop, library, and docks. So another guy joins the mess at the shop. We get someone else at the library, meaning it's all filled up. And we got someone at the docks. Meaning the high risk, high reward is starting to look like a more interesting card.
Unfortunately, both of those are filled up, which means that we can't activate them.
So we put the negative on the timer. They are fully occupied zones. Well, It Girl is actually getting closer to a hardship, and we had a glitch on one of our earlier runs. Our dog decided to say hello, so the hardship is actually not revealed, but she's close to revealing that hardship. And her strength does her a lot of good. I mean, you would get essentially 3 happiness right now and an extra strength by using Edward.
Why 3 happiness? It's 2.
2, but you get a strength.
Yes, which would give me another happiness.
And you can move towards the docks, because maybe it's a good idea for us to be doing some stuff at the docks. I can also maybe use street fighting, gain a strength, and even maybe knock a guy out over.
Okay, so I'll use Edward. I'll move to the dock. I don't get an activation, unfortunately, but I do get 2 happiness and a strength, which gives me another happiness.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, so I can either fight or just move one. I think we need to take out one of the guys. The ability to clean up at the shop would be a good idea. So do you think I should use street fighting, or should I just trigger the dock's ability to maybe get us some more defense?
I think we should trigger the docks.
Okay. Well, I'll trigger the dock's ability with free time then. And I'm only going to move 1 because I really only want to move 1. We need some defense out there. That's going to be the end of the turn. We now go into the sleep phase. So we need to spawn 2 more guys at the police department. We now get to refresh all of our activation cards. Now we can either gain a like, a happiness, or $1, or we can get access to some of these better cards that are out here. And
so I think I'm going to take public relations. It's going to increase. I'm going to keep my speed, but then I'll also get a like.
Yeah, high risk, high reward can be very good, especially, I mean, you take 2 damage, but running and I'm blowing up the hospital means I only take 1 damage. I'm a Superhero is a great card, and as much as I would like that, I'm going to have to give up my free time, take it off camera, and we're going to add in the high cost, high reward, because, or I could keep my free time, and no, I still need a regular fight card, I believe. I think that's very important. And we'll cut it right there. That's going to be the end of our second round.
Refresh any cards we've exhausted.
Yeah, refresh any exhausted cards. We're going to slide the round token up, and we'll be back with round 3, so keep it right here. We're going to be continuing racing around the city. Now we just need to finish actually cleaning up and resetting what we've got going on. We've neglected to do that. And the dock does move 1 during the sleep phase. So let's see what we get.
Ooh, your sniper rifle.
That was kind of my favorite item, I think, last time we played. It's getting a little crowded over here, but it's all good. And we need to draw 2 new. Ooh, there's one of your favorite cards, especially appropriate for Hit Girl. So we now do the event phase. So we move this event by 1. Draw the next one. Heroes taken. Each player discards a personal card, placing it next to the board. This can't be used. Spawn 2 minions at the hospital. Since we cannot spawn any minions at the hospital, we are going to have to spawn them at Wall Street. Now, if we clear the hospital, we get some really good stuff. I've got the perfect card to do that, so that's definitely going to be what I am going to do. Now, what we're going to, so I'm going to put this down right here. Now, we only have 1 minion left on the side of the board. I'm going to have to go get the other minions. So what we'll do, this is just sort of our cleanup and refresh for the start of round 3. So we're going to take a quick cut, and we're going to come back as we just get some more minions on the board. I didn't think we were going to go this far and show you guys all of them, but that's what's going on. So give me a second. And we've got some more minis out, as you can see. We're ready to start round 3. We've got a chance to move into the boss phase, and we both need to sort of discard our personal card that we can't use. So the one I'm going to do is I'm going to pick Marty. I'm just going to put it over to the side. This is almost off camera, I think, or off camera, and we are ready to start. And I definitely have got a whole whack of money, so buying is going to be the best thing. We want to get some defense up. We're going to have the spawn coming in right now, so first things first, we got to spawn. So we got a basic spawn, but the track moves up by 1, and we get 3 more guys. So we get one guy at the docks, we got another guy at the shop, and we got a guy at the hospital, which moves into Wall Street. So we've got a lot of stuff that we're not necessarily really able to do right now, which is very, very annoying. But we've got some good cards.
So how about, you want me to go first? Or you want to...
Well, I know we need to get to the police department. We've got some other stuff that can get there, but if we want to buy, like there's a sniper rifle and like the AK-47, the Self-86, some of the best cards in the game are showing up. We kind of need to buy, so we need to take out at least one of these guys.
Okay, so you'll have to do that. Why don't I make my way?
But then we can get to the police department later. If you can attack now, then I can buy and we can do some better stuff. But you're saying it's because your defense isn't strong enough?
It's not that, it's I won't have enough attack. I won't be able to move in.
Well, because I can, with this card, I guess the thing is, what we'll do is, this was not going to be a priority for this turn. I'd like to take it out this turn. I think we'll have to push that back to next turn. And maybe the best thing for me to do is I want to take that out.
It's okay, we'll figure it out. So if what you want me to do is to come and take something else that you can buy, because I've done my purchasing last time.
Yeah.
What I'll do is I'll come in with Hit Girl. Okay, so I get my 1 move.
Now, the question I want to ask you, do we need a gang up or not? I don't think it'd be worthwhile yet, unfortunately.
I don't think so. Except that I'm going to take some damage. No, we still have a shield, so I'm okay.
No, but it's risky, though. So I'm coming in with you. We're teaming up, we're ganging up, which is one of the things that you can do in the game, and I wanted to show this, so it's perfect because I don't want you to go down. I don't want you to faint, so we can at least spread out the damage this way. And I don't get much. I only get 1 red die, but I'm more of a meat shield in this scenario.
Okay, so we can share the... So no, there's not 2...
We get 1 blue die.
But I get 6 red.
6 red.
I hit hard, I'm just not very protected. I do have 1 defense of my own.
Do you got enough?
I have 1 missing, yeah.
Okay, so let's attack.
Go ahead, what is your single...
And I fail miserably.
No, it's not miserably, it's just 1. Yeah, that's a miserable.
So, well, we do take a total of 2 damage, so we each take a damage, but you do kill 2 of the minions.
So we take 2 each?
Yeah. No, we take a total of 2 damage.
Okay, so I'll take 1.
And I'll take 1.
Or actually, you know what? Why don't you take 2 since you are so strong?
Okay. Well, no, it's because I'm going to take some damage to blow something up potentially.
I will at police department as well.
Well, I might blow up the police department if we need to. So let's split it up 1 and 1. Because we're going to have to see what the spawns are because we got some good stuff. So that is our first turn. Hopefully we don't get a double activation at the shop right now. Let's draw our next spawn. Basic spawn is library, which goes from the library to Wall Street into City Hall. City Hall is getting filled up. We get 1 guy that shows up at the shop. We got to move this up. This is actually 4. We have 1 guy that goes from the hospital to Wall Street to City Hall. Not looking great.
Back to library?
Yeah, and then goes back to the library, which goes to Wall Street to City Hall. Now we lose the game if City Hall gets filled up. But at least for this turn, we're able to buy. What I'm going to do is I'm going to activate Carmelo, which will let me move 3. And I get to put a protective shield down someplace. So where would we like that? I'm almost thinking City Hall right now.
Yeah, I guess because you're going to buy, so it doesn't matter after that if the shop gets filled up.
No. And then I am going to purchase, so I've got a total of 1, 5, and 3. I got $8. So I can grab this nice sniper rifle, the selfie stick, which I'm just going to put up here, and an AK-47, which I'm just going to put over my sticks because I'm going to be dual wielding this bad boy for the moment. Now, I can exhaust each of these to gain some stuff, which you can do anytime during your turn. So I'm going up another like, and I can pick off any one guy on the map.
So police department it is.
I'm thinking it's definitely the police department. I'm going to
Oh,
pick off one
no, it
guy.
goes here.
Yep, to go here. And I'm able to move, able to move 3. So 1, 2, and yeah, I'm going to go here because you know what? I can potentially do it just with street fighting, and that might be the best move. So I'm only going to move 2, and I think that's what I'm doing for the turn. And let's pay all this money. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, and another 4, meaning I'm broke. And before I forget, we did not adjust our happiness, I think, from our first fight, so I am down to 6.
I did.
So what is Hit Girl going to do?
Well, I was going to the police department. That's what I had planned. So I can move 2. I can go to City Hall to help us out and activate there and see is there anything we want to pick up from the card. I really want Sadistic. So I think that's what I'm going to do to ensure that I get that.
Okay.
So by using this, I am also going to get a like, and I'm going to pick up Sadistic.
Okay. We now then get our third spawn card, basic spawn, which is hospital, which ends up in City Hall. We then get the library, which also ends up in City Hall. And then we get one in the police department. Now, if we had some cash, I would say we might want to potentially clean up that whole area.
Neither of us has cash.
Unfortunately, we do not.
We can, however, for this, if I want to move over.
Well, this is our last activation, so we gotta do something good here. So I might as big risk, big reward. So I'll trigger this, and I'll just take out the police department.
That's 2 or 1? Oh,
It's 2 damage.
You forgot to refresh your card. Oh no, we can't.
No, we
Sorry.
don't. It's not the refresh phase. That's why
Yeah.
I'm blowing these guys up. We're going to complete the prison break, meaning each hero gains 2 likes. And we move the incoming track back down 1. And because I cleaned this up, we can pick off 1 person, and I think City Hall is just the, what's got to happen. We got to protect City Hall. Or would we want to defend something else maybe, because City Hall's got 1 more protection.
Well, why don't you start clearing the hospital?
No, it has to be completely cleared. The best thing for me to do that is just to sort of run in and blow myself up. It'll hurt, but I can still technically survive it, so we'll see. There might be some other things that we can get.
It's okay. So I'm.
But maybe I'll pick off the library. A lot of stuff spawns at the library. Let's pick someone off
Okay,
there and
yeah.
free this up, and because maybe when I'm running through, I can trigger the timer.
So I can also fight in the City Hall if we want to get at. I can't fight in City Hall. That's too many people. I can't take that damage.
Now I can also run to City Hall and blow up there and take everything out. So we've got a couple different options. We're just gonna have to see what works best. But in any case, we are now at the sleep phase.
No, we played 2.
I played 3. You've only played 2? Oh, I guess you're right. We still have another.
I've only played 2.
No, we played 3 because we fought. Then I moved with Carmela, then we blew it up. It's been 3. You also just bought a card, which is why you've got a card face up.
That's right. This card is.
Yeah, there was a card that you activated, and that's why we've got the extra face-up card. So we have done, this is everything. We've completed round 3. So we're going to sleep phase. Nothing for the sleep phase. We're at the refresh phase. Now's where it gets interesting. Do we want anything in the shop? Right now there is absolutely nothing I want. We can gain likes. We get to refresh all of our activation cards. We also get our card back that we had because we completed the event. Oh no, we do not get the card back yet because we have not completed the hospital. Refresh all of our exhausted cards. But I'm going to actually gain a like because we're now able to do interesting things on the following sleep phase, and I can't take that chance. We're going to advance the round tracker. And what would you like to do?
Well, I would have liked to play my 3rd turn that you took away from me that I didn't play. I just went through, I only played.
No, you bought the card.
Yes, I bought a card. I played 2.
Okay, well.
It's okay.
Well, I asked you if there's something you want to do because you moved to City Hall to get the card. What was your next turn? I thought you can't fight, that you're going to just take stress and do 2 activations.
I can fight. I could have done sadistic, so I can move 1 somewhere. At this point, I'm doing it on Wall Street if I'm doing it anywhere.
But you're going to you're going to faint if you fight. You really are in no shape to fight.
So I can do a double activation.
You don't actually have to do that. Remember, you can play the card face down to just trigger get the free time and move 1. So you can move here and gain a strength.
That's a good idea. So why don't we move me back there?
So we made a mistake. I jumped a little bit ahead. We are ready for round 4. Julie got her last turn in. Is there anything that you want to buy? Are you taking a like or?
I'm going to take a like because I'm getting closer to being able to do something at night.
Okay. We will chuck the cards.
Lots of defensive gear.
Oh, that's an interesting one. Happiness and 2 likes. Interesting stuff. Lots of defensive stuff. Too bad we spent a ton of money. And we're going to cut right now, and we will be back with round 4. We're back with round 4, and Julie needs to discard one of her cards. So she's discarding her least favorite hit girl card. And we got to move this dog token over 1 again. And now we're ready to start up. We will move the event over. Julie will draw the next event card, which is Gotta gather some money. From now on, place every dollar you gain on this card. We need to get $10. And otherwise, each hero discards $3. Not that big of a deal for us. We've kind of spent all of our money. Otherwise, we get to divide the money. We gain some money, and we get to move back the enemies. But we're in a situation where if one more person gets in the City Hall, we might lose the game. So let's see what happens with the spawn. So the first basic spawn is the shop. It is then the hospital, which ends up in City Hall, but our protection token literally saves the day. And the last guy is going to be in the library, so this is where we are now at, meaning we can no longer use the library or the shop. Now we've got some stuff we need to do, so clearly we need to try to take out the hospital, take out some of these bad guys. We're in a tough spot, but last thing I don't want to forget, selfie stick for another like. I've got sniper rifle, which means I can pick a guy off, and I'm thinking right now.
Hospital?
No, I'm gonna pick.
Don't forget what we're trying to do here is clear the hospital.
No, but I'm gonna get over to the hospital. But if I pick off this guy here, it now frees up the library ability, so I can get some more protection items out, at least by running through using Carmelo.
Well, I'm not very strong at the moment defensively. I take 1 hit and I faint.
Well, you might have to go down, but is there something that you can do to gain some likes, to gain some positivity?
Well, it doesn't help my health any. So yes, I can move into the.
Well, you should maybe put out some protection tokens so you can come towards the.
Well, I can get into the library and activate there to put out a protection token. So
well, you get 2.
Yeah.
So I would think City Hall.
Yeah, and the library.
Okay,
So that's my turn.
no problem. And you got one more like.
Yes.
Now, I'm going to trigger Carmelo. I'm going to move through. I'm going to trigger 3 protection tokens. I really haven't seen too many enemies ever end up in Central Park, but the best thing to do at this point is just beef up the police department as much as possible. Now, hopefully, this will be good enough. All heroes in the same district as a minion immediately fight with negative blue die. So we do not get our blue die, but we're fighting. So we gotta resolve our fight. But the one thing that it doesn't say is whether we're allowed to use our card or not. So in this case, I'm gonna use this as a good opportunity because we fight before we spawn. Just so you guys know, text, then spawn. I'm gonna fight. Or do you think it doesn't say use your card? You know what? I think we just have to fight with what we got.
Yeah.
So I've got 3 red die, so I'll fight, and you've got your whack load of 6. So I'll go first here. I got less die. And I get butt kiss, and I take a total of 1, 2, 3 damage. I'm at 0 health, meaning I've got to roll the faint die. Now if I don't roll faint, I'm still on my feet, but barely. So I faint. I actually end up waking up in the hospital. And there is some negative effects. I will double check the rule book, but before that happens, I'm going to let Hit Girl resolve her turn.
I'm missing 3 more.
And I'm passing you the die just in case. Because most likely you're going to take, well, no matter what, you're fainting, so you're going to need the faint die. Whew, but you still annihilate all of them, and don't forget, so you annihilate everyone.
Mm-hmm.
You actually block 1, so you take only 1 damage. Does that put you at 0?
Yes.
So you're at 0, meaning you're going to have to roll the faint die.
Because obviously this one doesn't protect us, does it?
No, because we lose the blue. Well, luckily you do not faint, so you are still barely in the battle. You're standing on your feet at 0.
So
Now, I might have done that incorrectly with Hit Girl. It might be that you actually have to slide down to faint. We are going to double check the rule books. Kick-Ass definitely took enough damage. I was at 3, 1, 2, 3 to faint. So we'll double check. We actually hadn't experienced that before. We've been very lucky in our previous playthroughs.
So I should get 1 token, right?
Yeah, so you do get another token.
Might as well put it, I guess, in the library.
So heavy weapons. We're spawning 4 guys. It's now shop, which ends up in Central Park, thankfully. The hospital, which ends up on our protection token in City Hall. We then get the library, which will show up here. Then it goes back up to the shop, putting another guy into Central Park. So we've done that. I'm just going to make a quick cut. We're going to continue round 4. We just need to see what's going to happen because, well, as it happened in the comic book, Kick-Ass got his ass kicked and is now in the hospital. So give us a second and we'll be right back. Now, we're just going to clarify what happens when you faint. So I made a mistake. I was at 3. Remember, I took 1, 2, 3, meaning I was at 0. I shouldn't have rolled the faint die. Now, what would have happened if I rolled the faint die and I fainted? Would be happiness drops to the next lowest level. You immediately reveal the hardship. You wake up in the hospital. Just put it there just to be a little clearer. And this goes up to 6. And you continue on your turn. Now, if you're at faint and you roll 0, well, you're still at faint. You're barely on your feet, and any damage you take, well, you end up in the hospital. So that's just a clarification for faint. We made a mistake. Neither of us had to roll the faint die. I am at 0. I'm in trouble here. And we've got to do something to save the day. Now, we've spawned all of the minions, and it's time for us to take action.
I think I'll be attacking in the library.
Yeah, it makes sense to
But
get the
why don't
cleanup
you-
bonus.
I think you're going to. What are you going to do?
So I'm going to go with high cost, high reward. I'm gonna go down. There's no choice, so we got to clean out the hospital. So blow these 3 guys up. They go on the card. We reveal the hospital. I go down to faint. I got to roll the faint die. Luckily enough, I'm still on my feet and gain the cleanup effect from the hospital, putting me back at 0 health. So Kick-Ass is swaying, taking a beating, just never going down.
So because we completed this, we get to bring the track token down.
Oh, sorry guys, we had a glitch. Quickly, our dog wanted to say hello. It was at 4. It's down at 3. That's because we successfully completed Heroes Taken, which is our 3rd event, and each hero gains a strength.
I'm already at max, so I can't. So I think for the purpose of this, are we going straight to the boss, or am I taking my action now?
Well, we have to complete the spawn phase, and this was the 2nd spawn phase, so we're going to have to still go through the day phase, because the board setup is still going to be in effect with regards to the boss event phase.
Okay, so then I might as well trigger, I'm going to fight with Sadistic in the library.
Yeah, and then you may want to move to the hospital and maybe heal yourself next turn.
Well, I can either activate...
Oh, and don't forget, cards are back in play.
Yes.
Which is real big, especially for me.
So, I gain a happiness.
Oh, sorry, I forgot to lower my happiness from blowing myself up.
Okay, so I am currently playing with 3, 4, plus 3, 7 red and 1 blue. If I don't kill him...
That's kind of crazy.
It's almost too many for my hand.
Yeah, just try to drop it right there. Hopefully we don't knock everything over.
Well, I think he's very dead, and I don't take any damage.
No. So we successfully clear the library and you get another protection token.
Which I'll put in City Hall.
In City Hall? That's a good call. And are you moving to the hospital? Because do you get 1 movement with Sadistic?
I get a movement, yes.
So you can move to the hospital. All right. So we will now draw the last spawn card, which is sorry, gotta remember to bring it on camera. So library, we get 1 guy back, hospital, and this man that moves from the docks to Wall Street to City Hall gets defeated by our protection token. And then we once again go back up to the library, who gets defeated by our protection token. And no, it does not make us go up to 4 because of the basic spawn.
So wouldn't it have been just 3?
That's correct. It would have been just 3. My mistake. Thank you. So we still have our 2 protection tokens at the library. And it's now sort of our last turn. And really, we got to do something good here. So I'm going to play Marty to heal myself by 2. 1, 2. Using the hospital's ability, I gain a happiness. I have 1 movement, and I also gain a like, unlocking my famous card. Oh, that's it, girl. So I'm moving to Wall Street. We got to do something about City Hall, meaning I now have access to famous Kick-Ass, which is 3 movement. Got my timer, and I can move the incoming track down by 2. So that's some pretty good stuff here.
Okay, well, I can double activate.
You could heal yourself.
Yes, but only if I double activate.
Yeah, but you've got enough happiness.
Yeah. So I'm going to, but where am I going to end up? I can go 2. So I think we're going to back up that protection token because I think we like it.
Yeah, I think we might want the protection tokens out. I think that's a good idea.
Oh, I can't because it's full.
Nope. The library isn't.
Sorry, I meant the shield. So we'll lose the shield, but...
Yeah. Oh, so you meant the dock token, yes.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to activate to heal 2. And then I'm going to lose a happiness. And I'm going to move 2. but I'll only move one to the library.
You get to double activate, so you can activate the library.
Yes, so the 2 tokens, we're going
There's only 2. Hospital.
and City Hall.
Okay. Did you want to move here? Oh, we're not getting any money, otherwise that would be the way to go. Because we can't use the police department.
No.
I think that's probably the best thing, unless we want to try to gang up at the police department. But I think I'm actually just going to try to blow stuff up. It would be nice to be able to clean up all of City Hall, but...
Well, I have another movement if you want me to keep moving on to the police department or back to the hospital so that I can come join you at some point, but I think we'll end up...
You might need the protection tokens first thing, so I think it's a good move what you did. That ends round 4. So we will then look at what we want. Is there any cards? Bomberman is a nice one.
Yeah,
Hospital volunteer.
She's better than Hit Girl from what I remember.
There's the taxi driver card, which is very strong, and I need to get rid of some cards. And I've got a lot of good ones here, which is very unfortunate. So I'm going to get rid of my fight kick-ass because it's my least useful card right now. I got a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But before we do anything, we are at the sleep phase. So I know we're looking at our cards. We're starting to refresh. We're at the sleep phase, though.
I just removed the...
Yep. So we removed the Docs token, but I get to attack any district with 2 red die. Now, what is most important that we hit? I can potentially clean up, do some damage at Wall Street, stop guys from filling into City Hall.
Or Central Park, yeah. Probably more Wall Street, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to hit Wall Street, but I get one of them. Wasn't the greatest, but I'll take it. And Street Fighting is a good card, but I don't know if I want to keep it. So that was the sleep phase. So now we look at the cards. Julie took Bomberman. I really don't need any more likes. If anything, it might be movement and moving other players. The taxi driver card is very good. We got a lot of protection tokens. I really like Carmelo. I don't think I need Marty anymore. He does give me happiness, but we're in a tough part of the game, so I'm thinking I need to sacrifice my happiness. What do you think?
If I could change more...
Or should I change Street Fighting?
I think we continue to need Street Fighting. It's up to you.
Yeah, it's just that I might have to do high cut. Street Fighting lets me pick off one guy, which is not bad because I could potentially move here. What about, should I get rid of Carmelo for the taxi driver? Because we lose access to the protection token, but there's so many on the board. And super minions, which might come out with the boss to supersede it. So taking the risky move, getting rid of Carmelo, and I'm going to take taxi driver because I think movement and positioning may go a long way. So that's the end of turn 4, and we're going to come back at you guys with turn 5. Let's just move the tracker, and we will finish resetting. All right. Keep it right here, everyone. Now we're moving into round 5. So we've just sort of cleaned up the board as we realize that we defeated 3 events. You can see our event pile over in the corner there. We know we're now going to go into the boss event phase as we try to track down Red Mist, the coward bastard. So we move some stuff around to make it easier for Julie to set it all up. So the first thing we do is place the boss event cards and they replace the other cards. We reveal the Red Mist Coward Bastard plot. We then set up his sort of attack, his armor, and his health by the tokens there. Babe, you just need to flip those around. The health and the attack. And then we take the Red Mist tokens and we place them one in every district in the city. And did I double up on one?
Yes, it's in the hospital.
Oh, there's 2 in the hospital. And we are now good to go. Now the next thing we do is we're going to follow the regular round summary. So we go through the event phase. We reveal the first boss event, which is They Are Everywhere. Every sleep phase, place 1 minion in City Hall. To stop this, we need to clean up 2 districts. If we fail, we remove 2 random red mist tokens. If one of them is him, we lose. If we succeed, we get to lower the incoming track by 2. And we really want to get this done at the start of the game. I'm just going to unexhaust some of the stuff in my backpack. And let's see what we can do
don't
here.
forget the spawn.
Nope, the next thing we have to do is go through the day phase. So the first thing is spawn. And we did not have a minion in the hospital. We had a mistake there. If you guys look back, it was actually like this. So the first minion goes into the hospital. Our next minion goes into the police department. And we've got the protection token, so he does not go there. We then get another minion in the docks, and just so that you guys can see it on the board, hospital, police department, docks. From the docks into Wall Street. Now, like I said, apologize about the glitch with the hospital, guys. We had a puppy problem. For those of you that have a dog know that sometimes they love to stick their nose in just at the worst time, but we love them anyway. Now, we need to clean up the 4 districts. I think the best thing to do first would be to snipe the library. And you can place 1 token over on there. So we take 1 guy out. We gain back a protection token, which I'm wondering where the best place to put it would be.
Well, Central Park protects us for City Hall.
Yeah, so that's not a bad idea. We need to protect City Hall. And I'll gain $1 from my selfie stick since my legs are maxed out. And I don't know if we're going to finish Gotta Gather some money, but we can try.
So I can go and try to attack the hospital. I should be able to clean that up. And then, excuse me.
Sorry, guys. So if you clean up the hospital, we will then have another district that is
cleaned up, and maybe you can take care. Do you think you can take care of Wall Street?
I can do it all, but it'll put me in a tight spot. But this is towards the end of the game. We're going to be in a tight spot no matter what.
Oops. So I'm going to. I can move afterwards. Probably.
Well, I'd have to move you there. Otherwise, you can just move 1 to get in there, and you can potentially heal yourself too. So.
Yeah, I'll move in there and go into the hospital. So I will increase my likes.
Oh, you're going to go with Sadistic instead of Bomberman? You probably have enough.
I think I have enough. I'm going to save Bomberman for potentially another situation, like going to clean up something where we tag in together.
Okay, so I'm going to use high cost, high reward. So I'm just going to flip it over. I immediately defeat the 3 minions that are in Wall Street. We gain $1 on our card there. I take 2 damage, bringing me down to 0, but still barely up. It's kind of ugly, but I'm hanging on somehow.
Okay, so bring me into the hospital. I already took my happiness from my sadistic, and now I take 6 red and 1 blue.
There's 4, 5, 6 red and a blue. Hopefully this works out.
Sorry, I knocked my health. Yeah. So.
And you get your shield, and you can exhaust your bulletproof vest again.
So no damage, and I killed them both.
So we've defeated.
And since I cleaned it up, I can max my health back up.
Yep, and you can put another marker there. So we were actually at, 2 markers. We have 2 markers.
Why 2?
We blew up Wall Street.
Oh, that's right.
And the library.
Yeah.
And those are our activations for the first part of the day. We then move on to the spawn cards. So what do we get here? We get the police department, the docks, and the shop. And once again, nothing moves, which is fairly good.
So
we have
docks. They go.
No, docks goes Wall Street. This is the police department.
And then the other one is shops that go to Central Park.
Yeah, gets taken out by the token we have at Central Park. So not bad at all. Now, you can just take it out potentially with Bomberman and not worry about taking any, well, you may take a damage. I could try to do it with street fighting, but that puts me at risk of dying.
Well,
not dying, but...
I can do it. We can complete this automatically if I take Bomberman.
I think that's a good idea because you also get $3. And I can also lower the incoming track so we can really clean stuff up by using famous kick-ass and move myself into a position where maybe I can score a cleanup on the police department too.
Okay, so move me one there. I lose a happiness. I automatically kill him. I can roll my blue just to...
Well, you know what? It says automatically kill a minion, so you don't actually go into the fight phase. That's the way I'm reading the card.
Okay.
If you can just pass me Bomberman so we can get it closer on the camera. It says lose a happiness, kill a minion, and the ability to fight. So I'm just saying you kill a minion, don't worry about that. So with famous kick-ass, I'm going to use this one.
Wait, do we want to, before we do that, we'll just clean this. So we clean this up. So that means we get to pick 2 random red mist tokens.
Yeah, and as it's a cooperative game, we resolve her stuff first. So let's pick the 2 random red mist tokens. So why don't you try where the docks and... Oh, so this one is not good. We both lose happiness. So we lose 2 happiness. 1, 2. So that reveals my first hardship, which is...
Why do we both lose 2?
Oh, sorry. We both lose 1 happiness. I was thinking 2 because we're there. It's 1. So luckily, we don't suffer the effects. We're not in the region. If you can just take those, please.
And then you get to complete your second turn.
Yeah. Now we're getting close to hardship. I'm hurt. I'm going to use famous kick-ass. I'm going to move 3. Also lower these, so don't forget, we're lowering the incoming track by 2 from completing the event. I'm going to lower the incoming track by another 2. And I moved it. I'm going to move 3. 1. I'm going to use the ability to heal 2. 1, 2. I can move 2 more. And I think the best thing for me to do is to go to the police department. And that will be my second turn. So we'll now have to spawn another set of enemies. No, we're not the event phase. Remember, we're on the 3rd part of the day. So this is the disappointing one. Shame. All heroes in the same district as a minion lose 1 like. Doesn't negatively affect me that much. And then we get the spawn this time. It goes back up, but there's only 2 people coming in. It is the docks and the shop.
So shops goes to Central Park. And docks goes to
Wall Street. Yeah, so we're in an interesting scenario here. I have some health, I've got some abilities. I'm going to definitely use street fighting this turn because I can get a cleanup, we can get another minion out of City Hall, or we actually have a chance of maybe even completing this potentially. I have Taxi Driver, which would get us some more bucks, but I don't know if that's worth it. Right now I think cleaning up City Hall and maybe even cleaning up Wall Street might be worth it. Or taking a shot at Central Park. So I'll do street fighting. Gain a strength. And apologize, I had my hardship revealed. It was not supposed to be. Now, I gain 1 happiness from my strength. I get to defeat this minion. And even get the cleanup bonus. But first, I'll see if I take any damage. No damage, luckily, and I'm able to move 1. Now, do I want to go to the library or do I want to go to Central Park? I'm thinking Central Park because I might need to take some drastic measures again.
And the cleanup, where do we want to go? Wall Street or?
Well, Wall Street gets us another $1. You could potentially get us a few bucks on that card, which would... Don't know if we need the dollars. There is definitely some good gear, but it also lowers the incoming track.
So yeah, we're still $8 away from that.
Yeah, but it's not like, but it's tricky. You have to take a look at your card because you can potentially, you want to get another like. Well, you'll be able to clean up Wall Street afterwards too because you've got your ability. So we got some chances to do.
We also don't know what the next event will be, right?
No, we're not sure what the next event will be. So let's be smart. City Hall.
Yeah. Okay, so for my turn, there's no need to increase my strength, so Edward doesn't help me any. And I don't really need to do a double activation. So I think
you need your like because if you take another like, I don't think there's any cards here you necessarily want.
No.
You'll be able to get your famous card.
Yeah.
And your card
is really good.
Is very good.
So I'm going to move. I'm going to move to the police station, just in case I have.
Towards it, you can only move 2.
Yeah. Wall Street to the library to the police station.
Oh, I completely forget about that bridge from time to time. So Wall Street to the library to the police station.
And I'm going to take my like, and that is, and my activation.
Did you want to trigger the 2 defense tokens?
Yeah, when I went through the library, and so I put it.
City Hall, I take it?
City Hall, and why don't you put one in Wall Street in case something else comes through the docks.
Okay, so we'll do that. So it is now the sleep phase.
So I get to kill a minion.
Now, if you kill it in Wall Street, we do get the cleanup bonus. Or we can work together. Now, you know what? Let me try first because I can roll 2 die.
So where are you going?
I'm wondering if not the shop because nothing ever spawns in Central Park.
Okay.
So if we can clean up the shop, we might be able to get a free item. Not great, but 1 guy out of the shop, which does unlock the shop.
And then I might as well still clean Wall Street up, so we'll earn an extra $1.
Yep, I think that's a good move. We get an extra $1. That is round 5 of the game. We are going to reset our cards. I do not see anything I want to buy in an activation card per se.
Yeah, so I'm going to increase my.
Well, you know, I could use a better fight card. I don't think I need Marty anymore. This gives me the opportunity to re-roll 2 die and another fight.
In my case, this is my best card no matter what.
Yes.
So I'm taking the like.
And you have to discard a card. So I'm going to take Problem Solver and discard Marty. It's just doesn't fit with what I need anymore in the game.
I discarded Edward.
And you discarded Edward. You've got your best card. We'll refresh everything.
Do we have to refresh the items?
Yep. I'm just going to slide the round tracker up. Kind of like that taser. But I don't know if we're going to get a chance to go there. We'll reveal the next 4 cards. And some of the stuff is pretty good. Might have liked it earlier on in the game. But, ooh, the lookout and the tank. So we've got some good stuff going on. We're going to cut right here, and then we're going to come back with turn 6. All right. We are now on to round 6, and this has gone actually a lot smoother than I think every other game of Kick-Ass that we have played so far. And I will reveal the next boss event card. Now, this card is Follow the Track. We will be placing 2x interest tokens, so 4 interest tokens, 1 per district starting clockwise from the library. So it'll be the library, hospital, Wall Street, and the docks. Just put it where people can see it. I think this one actually, the red mist token might have been off the board too. Now, we need to gather X interest tokens, so only 2. If we fail, we have to remove 2 random tokens. If we reveal the 2 tokens, his boss level goes down, not the boss of the incoming track goes down by 2. That is our event phase, and we did have an interruption. This event was here, and during the event phase, it is slid over to phase 3. Now, our basic spawn does require us to move up on the incoming track. We get the docks, library, and the police department, so we do spawn all 3. The docks ends up in Wall Street. We have 1 guy in the library, and we end up with 1 guy in the police department. Now, Hit Girl has her new ability, and we definitely can do something really nasty here. So I'm going to start with Taxi Driver, which means we gain $2 and I can move 1 hero to any other district. So please put $2 on the card. I'll move you to Central Park. And now you can run through all 3 of these districts and chain their cleanup effects.
Sure. So I'm gonna.
Yep, go right ahead. Let's do that.
So I'm gonna. So sure, put me.
But I'll show the card. Famous Hit Girl, kill 1 minion or super minion whenever you enter a district.
So I'll go to police department, library, and end in Wall Street.
So hack everyone up.
No,
sorry, picking up the wrong things.
Pick up the minions.
Picking up the minions, hack them all apart. So we gain another $1.
Gain $1. We would gain a cleanup.
Yeah, we do gain a cleanup and a protection token, but they're all on the board.
So the cleanup I will pick from here, giving us potential opportunity to clean up here if we need to.
Yep.
And my activation,
You can pick up which one would you like to get. I mean, I'm a little far away. I'm going to try to go for this one, or I can go for the one in the hospital. It is up to you. I might actually go to the hospital because I could use some health.
well, actually, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If I activate at Wall Street, because I don't have any dollars, so I can't do the police department. There's no point in doing a library, we don't have tokens. So I might as well do Wall Street.
But you have to spend your activation to pick up the...
Oh, sorry, I'm spending my activation to pick up the token.
Yeah, because at this point in the game, it's a good thought, but I'm not sure how much we need dollars, so I'm going to do Famous Kick-Ass. I get 1 time where you get to move the incoming track down by 2, and I get to move 3, and I need to... So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. And I'll pick up the token in the hospital. So we get to reveal 2 tokens. So what are you thinking?
How about City Hall and Library?
Okay, so we reveal City Hall, nothing, and we reveal the library. Oh, we found him. So we found Red Mist. So we now place him on the board. And that is the end of our activation phase. You can get rid of the event because it's been completed. And now the only thing we need to do is kill Red Mist. And we've got 1 more chance to do this during the day. And I think we need to go all out. And you know what I realized we didn't even do? And we're going to do it just because we can. I gain $1 from the selfie stick and the sniper rifle. Not $1, sorry. I mean, I get the sniper rifle to shoot this guy, which gives us the cleanup effect. Now, we do have a lot more time, and we've been at this for a while now, so we're going to go all out to kill Red Mist. Because we're at round 6, the smart thing to do, actually, would probably be to complete Wall Street and then go when we've got like 3 activations and we're at full health. But that's not what we're doing. I think we're going to go all in.
Yeah, I think I can go in with Bomberman. And actually,
well, we're going to find out because we have to spawn first. This is our 3rd time. So the first thing is, so every player with a personal card in their hand loses a happiness. It is kidnapped, so the incoming token does go up 1. And it is a spawn at the hospital. It is a spawn at the library and the police department. Now, you were debating whether to use Sadistic or Bomberman since we now have to fight this, well, we'll get out of the way. We now have to fight this minion along with Red Mist. Going in with Bomberman is probably the smartest thing that you can do.
Yeah, it's going to make me, if I go in with Bomberman, it will make me go into hardship. But that's okay. I think at this point in the game, I think that's...
Yeah, it's the same thing with me. No matter what we do, we're going into hardship. Let's try to end the game. We might have to fight him another turn, but let's see. I'm going to be using Problem Solver, which lets me re-roll 2 of my die.
So are we going in together?
Yeah, we're going in together.
Okay.
So we go in together.
I've got 6 plus 1. These are mine. And then...
So you get rid of the minion.
Yep.
So you've got 6 plus 1, and I've got a total of 3, 4 red die. That's all I got. So after you attack, we'll see what I do.
So I think he's dead.
He's not quite dead. You've done 1, 2, 3, 4 damage. So he's taken 2 damage, and you have effectively gotten rid of his armor. So what I need to do is with my 3, 4 die.
You got 5 there.
I got 5. I need to do at least 2 damage. So let's see what I can do. Boom. Red Mist is defeated. And we have successfully completed the game of Kick-Ass. So this was a long one, guys. We are actually going to rescore this, and we'll explain why. We do have a nice ending to this video. The rescore video is going to be the same, and we did discuss about re-reviewing the whole thing and maybe taking the thing down. But the fact of the matter is, the rulebook had some problems, and we probably could have got this out a lot quicker if it hadn't been for those problems. So we'll talk about that. And we'll be back with an actual third video on Kick-Ass. What the heck is going on here?
Well, thanks for watching. And as usual, if you like what you saw, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe. Let us know what you think.
Yeah, and there'll be links showing up first to our original Kick-Ass video where you can find our review of the game as well as some other video content that you may find interesting. You can find information on our social media feeds down below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you found it informative, and we'll be back with another video following our regular release schedule. So now we're going to take it out. We're going to grab our drink, grab our best friend, and
keep playing games.
keep playing games.